welcome back, everybody.
Hey,
Welcome to Chibi Robo Xbox 360 edition. It's episode 21.
21,
it's
baby.
Episode 21, baby. That's our lucky number around here.
Yep.
Shout out to the 100,000 people that just clicked on the video right now.
Thanks.
Because they think we're playing this on an Xbox 360. Bloodborne episode 21, people.
Dude,
I hate to break it to you, but if you're thinking that we're playing Bloodborne on Xbox 360, I have bad news for you.
You're in for an even more exciting time.
Pay attention. Actually, that's sad news. That's
our top. Real talk. This is some inside baseball for y'all. Our top 2 searches for our most watched video are Bloodborne Xbox One and Bloodborne Xbox 360.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Wow, that explains a lot.
A lot of people are really obsessed with seeing Bloodborne on Xbox 360.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
That explains a lot.
Why would you even search that?
For now on, now that I see this, okay. What a cock ring! Jesus,
cock ring.
fuck.
I mean, hey, we gave him his bone. I guess he's just doing his thing.
But yeah, honestly, I'm just gonna. For now on, this channel will be converted to nothing but clickbaity videos of me making a pog face, or a soy face, whichever one. In front of the camera, it's just like a screenshot and a very generic thumbnail that says on 360, and everything's on Xbox 360.
Yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales on Xbox 360.
Duck Hunt, Xbox 360.
Oh my god.
Super Smash Bros. Xbox
360.
Can I really not give this guy his fucking underwear?
That sentence was
Come on, man. Let me give it to you.
Hey, bro. I got some undies for you.
Yeah. Alright. Well, you're not doing me any good. Pop up there.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
So last episode,
yes,
we left off on specifically Pixar movies.
Yes.
Which changed from 3D animation.
I mean, this actually, I think it's the same.
It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. At the end of the day, but
Kinda, maybe.
Yeah,
post 3D
Darnell.
animation.
I'm just being.
How are you feeling with the character design for one, and 2, the just animation approach of newer
A lot of the newer
Disney
stuff.
movies? Yeah. Because for me personally, things are starting to blend together a little bit. And by that I mean I recently watched the movie Luca, and it was really charming, and it was the movie was checked all the boxes I needed it to.
Okay. I haven't seen the movie
But the
yet.
characters felt weirdly familiar. The way they were, the way the humanoid characters were presented felt familiar.
Question. For one, I'm just gonna preface this because everyone, if you're a longtime fan or if you know me personally, you'll know this. And if you didn't, I hope you're sitting down, because feel free to be shocked if this is the case, if you're applicable for that. I don't like Pixar movies. I don't genuinely enjoy almost any of them.
Sure.
So what is Luca?
So
Could you give me a summary of that?
Luca might not even be a Pixar movie, being completely honest.
Might be
I know it's
DreamWorks.
a Disney film of some kind.
Okay.
It might be DreamWorks. I'm not sure. But it's a fish. It's a
The
tale
sea
of-
monster thing.
Yes. Yeah. Fish boy bridges the gap between them and the humans.
That's a very similar movie storyline that I've heard before.
Yes. The whole movie felt familiar.
Okay.
Wait, can I?
I think you can just do that. I think that
Is it a new course or is it a?
I'm starting to think that there are certain things in this game that you just do to infinium to grind.
how most
The-
writers work. You take from experience.
I agree with that, and the same happens in all sorts of like creative fields.
Mhm.
But I guess it's just like the characters felt
Very
like we had seen
like
things.
almost I wouldn't say uninspired.
Yeah, not uninspired, but like, yeah, like I see.
A little too familiar.
Yeah, something was very familiar about him. But it worked. Like,
Okay.
to be completely fair, like, it worked. It did everything I wanted the movie to do. I just wasn't. Darnell being an animation fan, I was curious what you.
I just haven't been to like I kind of said that a lot of the they're finally hitting hit or miss territory for me.
Okay.
So like some things are just not catching my attention
Sure.
as much anymore.
Sure.
It could be also I know my taste has changed. So like
Right.
That's what I was getting ready to bring
like
up. Like,
Pixar. Oh, I can't say I've grown out because some of their stuff if something looks gorgeous enough, I will
there's the
watch it.
Sure.
But yeah, some of the stories I just don't. Like last Pixar movie I really cared about was Coco.
Coco.
I don't regret that
Oh
one
my
at all.
god, dude. Coco
Good
is
ass movie.
unmatched.
I watched that movie without even full details. I watched that movie at work.
Oh, right.
That was the last Pixar movie. Is that? I don't know. They're the fucking same thing anymore these days. But yeah, that was the last one that I actually watched, and I remember looking at that and just being like, "Damn, this shit pretty."
Yeah, it's a
and that's
beautiful
what I
movie.
mean. I already like the Day of the Dead aesthetic.
Mhm.
That's just really cool. But yeah, I feel like I just don't. I'm just not as interested, I guess.
That's
It's just-
interesting.
I mean, like Disney as of late, in my opinion, especially the live action stuff. It's like,
Sure.
y'all run out of some ideas, man. I don't care about this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Everyone's just getting remake happy these days, which I don't know. It's just I always preferred like original stuff.
That's fair.
Sure. Yeah,
But
no.
I'd be like playing it safe whenever makes the money.
Mhm.
Alright, bye, bitch.
That's annoying when it comes to bigger companies that are afraid to experiment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I
Sure.
mean, people gotta fight for that stuff.
Yeah. There's another interesting parallel there, like as far as like what games are being made,
Yeah.
because it feels like when you look back on like a PS2 era like catalog, your selection is so batshit like crazy.
Yeah.
But that's still happening, just
Yeah.
not on as big a scale.
Also, I would be willing to say that like most games of that era, like okay, so let's say like yeah, it'd be like the variety would be like batshit insane.
Yeah.
But I think people have grown a lot more standards now to the point where like yes, the variety of that era is a lot, but also at the same time, I feel like like most of that variety comes from like those random games you would get at like the thrift store or like Christmas or whatever, like those
Sure.
like licensed games that really aren't that great, but they're just the ones that everyone had,
Sure, I hear that. Yeah.
Like I don't see like there are a few exceptions. Like I know the Incredibles game is pretty fucking good. Like
Okay.
from what I've heard.
Yeah. From what I remember,
no idea.
I liked it. From what I remember.
I never played that.
And
No idea.
that's like supposedly one of the best like licensed games ever.
Really?
That and like Battle for Bikini Bottom and
Yeah.
like stuff that like people very clearly remembered for very good reasons. Is
Right.
Battle for Bikini Bottom a good game? Hell fucking no. But in terms of licensed games, it's a cut above the rest to the point where it's almost just like its own thing,
Right.
which is cool.
Sure.
My only thing is that it like compared to today's standards, like we've all learned our lesson. Like licensed games just aren't good. Like it's fine to take
Sure.
a chance. Like every now and then, obviously, like there are some that hit the mark, but more times than not, I'd be willing to say that our variety in games nowadays, as far as AAA go or whatever, like in the standard catalog that like everyone knows about,
Okay.
is a lot more refined. whether you like those games or not is completely subjective, but objectively, there's a lot more higher quality games.
Oh, yeah,
Sure,
that came
yes,
with time.
that's
Came with time.
fair. That is very fair. I see where you're going. Okay.
I agree with
I
that,
really
but
took a
also-
roundabout there, but like,
yeah, I got
No,
it.
I get what you're saying now.
yeah, but like, there's some fucking fire ass licensed games back in that era. But nowadays, everyone looks at that shit and it's like the same quality, and people go, it's whatever.
Sure.
Like they know, like people stay away from it because
Yeah.
they know that shit just does. It's like it's almost like the equivalent of shovelware now,
I hear you.
which is kind of crazy to think about. That like people will
Yes.
dump time into a licensed game and then it's like nobody buys it because it's just like this shit's just a trap.
Right. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Is an actual example of not I can't say modern generation anymore because fucking new consoles, but like there's a Kung Fu Panda game that came out for like
The
PS4.
Oh, for the PS4?
Yeah, it might have been on 360 too. I could be wrong, but there is a PS4 port nonetheless.
Yeah.
In that game, it's Smash Brothers.
Really?
If you hate yourself,
Oh, I see.
it's
I
really
see.
fucking bad.
I see.
So yeah, just like shit like that, man. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Sure.
And yes, licensed games can be done right, and they've proven themselves that they can be, but it's very far and few between, especially nowadays.
Sure.
Darnell, you seem like you're having some like mortifying. Like,
They hurt.
yeah, I mean they do sometimes. That's very true. But weirdly enough, I think for certain things, like licensed games do very well. Like something like for this, like the show, like you can get genuine entertainment out of something that's
Sure.
terrible.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like,
One of my favorite playthroughs of all time in general is Two Best Friends when they played Right to Hell Retribution. That is just beautiful, James.
yes.
Sure. That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
But to weigh that in back to the topic,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a big
tangent.
That was a big.
Tangents are fun.
Yes.
Yes.
I love when people ramble.
To weigh that in back to the topic, I think and I have to say it because I don't, obviously I'm not a fucking authority on Pixar or
Right.
Disney in general because
Right.
I just genuinely have my interest dropped off after fucking Lilo and Stitch. Like
That's fine. That's a fine
Yeah.
place to stop.
after
I get
Lilo and Stitch, that is where my attention span towards Disney basically dropped. There was
Sure.
a few exceptions here and there, like Atlantis.
That was before Lilo and Stitch, though.
Correct, yeah. To be fair, like the
But
timing.
you watched in your order.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I get it.
Treasure.
Because
I
we
think
all-
I watched Treasure Planet way after I was into Lilo and Stitch.
Okay,
Sorry,
I
shit,
see.
I was.
Because Lilo and Stitch was something that I experienced in theaters. Like,
Right.
Oh, I wish I would have.
I remember it very vaguely, but I remember being there with my sister and my mom, and we just, we hung out. But like, but
Sure.
yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, yeah, from the outside perspective, I have to say that because it's that my experience with these movies are very far and few between,
I
and I've seen them very little times, if any at all. So
Right.
looking at like the quality of them just at a passing glance,
Sure.
the fact that like Disney has water, I don't know, you guys might be able to hear that on mic. I'm sorry, but the quality, like now that Disney has basically given up on doing like hand-drawn animation, I guess, if that makes sense, like more of a classics.
Is that your preference?
I just think there needs to be a divide between the two. Like, I think
Okay.
that's what set Pixar aside from Disney is that, like, because I don't like musicals. I really don't. People know that.
Yeah.
People have known that. But the thing is that with that, Pixar was always like a crutch to fall on because those aren't musicals
Ooh.
for the most part.
We
They're-
did an even 5,000. Happy.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
Frozen happened.
Correct. Yeah. But that's Disney. That's not Pixar. Did they?
Yeah, they animate. They 3D animation solely Pixar.
I
Okay.
They're
didn't
not
know
two
that.
separate. Like
they're not two separate
They're,
entities.
Pixar's almost like a subsidiary.
Yeah.
So they'll like work hand in hand, but yeah, 3D animation is all Pixar.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I mean is that like Disney just flat generic films and Disney Pixar films are no longer two separate things.
Yeah,
You just,
right.
as you just said.
At that time, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's just now that there's no divide, I think that like, and I think there's okay. I will say, given the perspective of someone who, weirdly enough, I can relate to this via Naruto. Someone who's been into Naruto since its conception all the way up until modern day.
That's a good example to bring up.
Is that Shippuden at the time, the second series of the show or of the franchise, the style that it took for the animation, that was popping at the moment, and very few things had done it by then. Oh, top 5.
Top 5, baby.
You got a bonus battery.
Dude, I don't know if we're gonna make it to number 1.
I really hope we don't have to.
Yeah.
Also, damn, that's a big battery.
20,
Shit.
baby.
But Shippuden style sat there, and it was revolutionary at first, and then the show dragged on for 500 episodes. So then, by then, what was revolutionary was then people had, the style had literally come and gone.
Sure.
9 years, basically 9 years passed for Shippuden to come to a fruition. So,
Sure.
like, in the grand scheme of things anyway. So within that 9 years, people had, that style had come and gone, and by the time, around the time roughly, like, Naruto was towards its last, like, I want to say maybe 50 episodes, they finally switched up the style.
Sure.
Which was like insane that they even did it. And now, looking into modern day, regardless of how you feel of Boruto, aka Boruto's dad, the show, fucking the animation style is updated, more modern, and consistent, and always looks good, no matter what.
Yeah, pretty much each major fight, but they like
And then
hired
Studio Bones,
Yeah,
also.
which, I mean, that's smart on their part. I hate watching a show and the fight like
Looks just the same.
like just
Sloppy,
sluggish.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. No, I
If
get
it were
that.
my choice, the whole thing would be just popping the whole time.
Yeah.
That's money.
But also, once again, going off tangent as my example, like genuinely, like in right now, today's world, there is also the Dragon Ball Super movies, a great example of this. Right now, in today's world, there is more of a demand for non-3D animation right now.
Huh.
In today's world, I think both have their equal appeals now,
Yeah.
but for a long time, 2D animation was very much so like, whatever, because people were so hyped about the 3D shit all the time. But now I feel like it's like an equal balance, because 2D has like sort of like pure 2D, like hand-drawn, like,
Well, I'll say dish.
yeah.
Ooh, you don't want to do it, but cell animation kind of digital. My brain's being stupid. Give me a second. But yeah, there is a demand for it.
There's such a demand. I remember specifically when the fucking oh damn, that's a big baboomba.
Triple whammy.
Fart gas.
It costs 1 per use, okay.
All right, cool.
No problem. No problem.
But I remember specifically when the trailer for the Dragon Ball Super movie came out, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it looks incredible!" Because
especially for Dragon Ball, because it doesn't only animation like that for Dragon Ball really mainly came with movies.
Yeah.
And even then.
movies and like very early on shit, like Dragon Ball shit, which everyone was like, yeah, I fucking like, I mean, I fucking loved it. That's for damn sure. And
Sure.
I think nowadays, in my mind, if I'm going to see 3D animation, for the most part, there are a few exceptions. I think if I had a preference between the two, I would I would most likely always go with 2D, unless the 3D animation is some wacko, crazy, like multi-million-dollar shit.
Sure.
For me, it's all about the way you stylize something. Because we have, most popular fighting company at the moment, heavy Arc System.
Yeah.
Sure.
Heavy stylized, and that's what I think really matters. Because to me, it doesn't matter what. Like, I used to be like, just, I always use the wrong word. I don't want to be too important, but I used to simple off for 2D.
Okay.
But now I think, like, after learning about like how like 3D rigs work and all that stuff, I have higher.
It's fucking interesting.
And
Yeah.
more so, not just that. Like, early stuff looked really uncanny. One
Yeah.
of the earliest 3D I rewatched it was Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Okay.
It's very uncanny.
I've never seen
It's
that.
still, it looks good for its time, in my honest opinion. And
That's
then
'cause the-
especially like Avid Children came not too long after that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which is still baffling to me.
Sure.
But yeah, we came a long way.
Oh yeah. And then there's some shit from that era that like still holds up to this day. Like-
I keep rewatching the Soul Calibur 3, even though it's technically like the frames and the quality is, upscaled.
Failed.
But the Soul Calibur 3 is so good.
The-
I don't know if you were gonna mention that.
Well, that was one thing, but the thing that always is on my mind, because it's always insane to me. It's always absolutely insane to me to think of how much it costed, just the cost of the cutscene.
Sure.
The intro to Final Fantasy X.
That's so ridiculous.
That I would have to look it up again because I don't remember. But it was made in it was crafted in the 90s. So in 90s money, this shit
In
was
90s money. Yeah, no, that's
in
real.
90s money. This shit was wildly expensive.
Sure.
And like it still holds up to this day. If
That's
you
You said 10.
yeah.
So probably like storyboarding is where that probably started.
Correct, yeah. I mean, it was a project game, but like most likely they probably like that was not most likely. The game was primarily made in like over the course of like 99 up until the point the game was done, or like 98 or
Sure.
something like
Still
that.
like the cutscene, yes, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, sure.
It's kind of ridiculous how.
So like, yes, 3D or computer animation or however you want to fucking configure in your mind. Like with what I said with like if I want it, I would rather it be like super high quality or at least something unique looking, like stylized.
We like, yeah.
But that shit costs money that's hyper unrealistic to maintain for longer than. I mean that cutscene is like 2 minutes and that's a lot.
That's why most games we have rendered
Right.
FMV or something.
Yep.
It's going to be high quality games that look good.
Yep.
Though I will say
You got this, Carl.
there are some games that have you ever seen Dark Souls 2?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I thought that shit was real. And I mean,
And sometimes they do fake you out, and sometimes they're just real.
but no, that shit's just, that's how good they are.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2 was supposed to be way better than that game. I think still is pretty.
I think it holds up.
Yeah, I think that game looks fine.
It has a couple of like you can clearly see like a couple of rough around the edges kind of moments, but like
Better looking than Dark Souls 1.
Sure.
oh yeah, Dark Souls 1 looks like shit. Realistically.
I like the game though. I like 1.
Yeah. I don't think anyone would honestly. I think I feel like it's pretty unanimous. People like 1 a lot.
Yeah, but who's some even as a Souls fan,
My
I don't-
score's so low though. Like, look at how low I had to
It's a
go.
D.
Holy crap. Holy crap.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, that's my first time on the
Oh,
board.
you still need a lot more work. Thanks for flying with us. Oh god, dude.
Bama.
I mean, at least you
We're supposed to do for a
scored.
couple of things, Bama.
We'll try one more. I had 8 seconds left on that one.
9, I think.
Jeez,
I think it was
Louise.
9.
That is
Oh. All right, gamers.
I can talk about animation for days.
That's the fun of it, yeah. And there's so much to pick from too.
Yes, many different styles, takes.
Earlier, Carl, you asked what was favorite 2D animations, or just animations in general.
Yeah, Darnell. Did Darnell ask that?
Yeah, I did.
Or
Okay.
somebody.
Somebody
I was like,
asked it.
somebody did.
Yeah.
I was like, at this point, it was like 45 minutes ago, so I couldn't
Like,
remember.
if somebody asked me that, ooh, I would have kept going.
But,
like, I'm not gonna say, like, I don't know everything, really. I'm still learning. There's always stuff to learn.
no, I mean, it's
I'm just saying, like, what I primarily like.
animation is animation and art in general is an unmasterable craft.
Yeah, and it's all subjective. Yeah, it's all subjective.
That's why it's unmasterable, you know? Like, there's literally nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I will say it's good to, like, design that's what, like, class stuff is good for, because that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at everything else that's out there and just soaking in as much as you can.
It's a little intense.
I know, I'm really trying, but I don't think I'm gonna make it to the door.
Yeah.
Because I'm already at 12.
Well,
Even
yeah.
if I keep flying. I don't get it, man.
Shit. It has to be.
Oh, I might make it.
Oh.
940.
How is that still
That
a
was a
D?
D? Oh my
I don't understand how.
Jeez. That's brutal, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna peace out.
Yeah,
these days.
you've done it. We can call it.
Yeah,
We can call it on that one. Yeah.
I don't think I'm missing much from them.
Yeah, it's just happy points, I guess.
I guess. Fuck me.
Yeah, that seems fucking impossible. That is impossible right there.
I'm gonna
I
touch
just
it.
remember, Call 3 animation, one of my favorite, really good ones was a trailer a couple years back. You've heard of the first Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice game?
Yeah, yeah.
There's a trailer that came out for a second one,
Okay.
and the facial, can't think of the word for it at the moment.
Tracking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
facial tracking. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh boy, I'll have to show you, it's fucking ridiculous.
Sure.
Which I will say,
You've gotten really good at that now.
we have, but I feel like only for the sake of advertising. Because
You think so?
usually, oh yeah, in my personal opinion, I think in an actual game, like in gameplay, models based off facial tracking just doesn't
Well,
work.
I mean, like, depending on the type of game, if it was like something like similar style like Telltale, where you're talking to someone
Yeah,
primarily,
sure.
whereas like a character action game, you don't worry about that stuff.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
models like that don't really.
Matter.
But I'm saying, like, you know, like in cutscenes and things like that.
Yeah. I think in cutscenes it's fine, but in like just standing idle gameplay, it's very jarring to look at.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter all that much since, you know, we're so used to, you know,
Like
cutscene as a cutscene, gameplay, which I know some people, some games are trying to bridge that gap, which some are getting way better at it.
Sure.
which I'd rather them get better at it than not do it at all because I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
But as an example, we did a playthrough of Until Dawn on this channel. Hashtag go check it out.
Dude. Side note, where the fuck is this bear at?
I don't know. Chilling and grilling.
Are
I
we
guess.
done? Like, is the bear done?
Oh, there
Oh,
he
there.
is.
Okay, yeah.
But
Sorry.
and that has facial tracking, and that shit looks
Kinda-
terrible.
Oh, Uncanny Valley.
It's
Kind of like
awful.
That's the annoying thing. Sometimes, because realism, I noticed when people, the more and more some people try and focus on realism, you try and accent certain things too much and it makes it unnatural.
Yeah.
And that's where you have Uncanny Valley. The best example, in my opinion, LA Noire, where they tried to focus because the game was trying to.
It was all about like facial like giveaways and stuff like that.
You know, like because they studied on trying to like, okay, what are physical tells, body language, but yeah, when you focus too much, it just is not.
Tires. That's all.
You're lying, Morgan.
I like your ass. You're lying, Morgan.
I love that song. That's just something that's gonna get better with time.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
It's just we're not currently in the place where modern technology has the capability to make it good
I mean, like,
consistently.
Sure.
I wouldn't even say that it's really a lot of technique, because I think that's how, like, even so, the best ever is like, technology can take you so far, but
Yeah.
how you use it,
Right.
which I do at least. Oh.
Dream buckets.
But yeah, I feel like if you're going to, you know, give and take with the realism, put enough stylized where it doesn't look too funky.
Right.
Exactly.
Like,
It also helps with the aging of games, because like when you talk about an example like Until Dawn,
It's
at
old
the
now.
time, at the time it was like, oh shit, nice, and now it's still like, okay, oh shit, nice, but with like an asterisk of like, man, this game is aging itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We getting cash money. And happy points, I guess.
Yeah, we're close to charging the battery.
We're getting there. Because you just dumped in some earlier, right?
One drop, and then I've got another one saved up right now.
See, I'm kind of glad we've been doing it progressively instead of holding it off, because that would be very daunting if that were the case. Speaking of daunting, the next episode looms in the distance.
In the distance, on
Our
the horizon, baby.
Our animation podcast has been very good.
Let's keep going.
It's very fun.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't get to soapbox as much.
Next time on Mineral Gamers, we're doing some cleaning. All right, later.
Later.
Bye.